Yes, it has begun.
It has begun!
It's time for some Prime.
I'm in my prime.
I am Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime time, bitch!
Hope you like that intro. I love that Freddy and all that crazy, goofy Prime stuff I put in. Anyhow, it's May. It's time for another pickup of the last 2 or 3 months that I've done at Amazon. Over the span of the last 2 or 3 months, I picked up 8 things off Amazon Prime. You know, I made a nice little order 1 or 2 things, then wait a couple weeks, order another one, maybe, or 2, and spread it out, you know, because it's too much at one time. So, anyhow, I found some good offbeat movies that I've been wanting, some great comedies. I found a great action film, which I'll detail that I've actually got wrong. Like, I know Eddie ordered it, and I actually found the wrong name of this movie for the longest time, because I'll tell you what the name of the movie I thought it was. So we're going to go ahead and start it off with an 8-movie collection that CJ actually told me about in Walmart. And I went ahead and got it off Amazon, because I was sitting there, I was like, well, I found it on there. It's 8 movies, action comedies, and the only reason I ordered it for was Stop or My Mom Will Shoot with Stallone and Estelle Getty. And I've watched The Cowboy Way, I've seen Another Midnight Run, and I've seen Bulletproof. But I've never seen Renegades, Bandit. Well, yeah, actually, I did see Bandit Goes Country. I have no clue why Bandit Goes Country is on this. No idea. I've not seen Bird on a Wire. But anyhow, with Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, Stallone told a story about this. The idea was, you know, him and Arnold were competing heavy for movie roles. They were both competing for the biggest blockbuster action films and comedies. And so Stallone heard that Arnold, who basically false planted this stuff, that he was going to do Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Well, Arnold knew the movie was bad. Well, Stallone decided to do the role. But the idea was to cast somebody, I think he said like Roseanne Barr as his mother, somebody in that type. Well, they didn't do it. They casted Estelle Getty, who was so unlike that and was America's favorite mother at the time, because she was on Golden Girls, and they had to change the way the whole film was made. And he couldn't back out of it because he already agreed to do it, and he went ahead and shot it. And it was a success, but it was a very critically derailed film. I think it was his last comedy he did for a good while. Now, staying with Stallone, he did do an action film in the 80s that I've never seen. It's called Nighthawks, and I heard Chris got this. This is with Rutger Hauer and a couple other people. I told Eddie I ordered this about a couple months ago, and I think Eddie got him a copy of this finally. Amazon was selling this for cheap, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this. It adds to my Stallone collection. It gives me another Stallone film to my vast library of Stallone films, even the bombs like Rhinestone and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I think I need Oscar. I think Oscar really is one that I really like.
It's the biggest day of Snaps Provolone's life,
I got till noon to look like a banker.
and everything is going wrong. His daughter has a surprise.
Did he tell you I was pregnant?
His other daughter is a surprise.
What other one?
You got 2 daughters?
His wife is upset.
You had a child with the new maid?
The cops are closing in. The help is moving out.
I quit!
And now Snaps is falling apart.
Because it was like a 1930s film at that time. And it's got appearances from Talia Shire from Rocky. It's really a good film. It gets derailed a lot, but I like Oscar. That's one I really need to find. Staying with action stars, and Eddie didn't even know this one, because I remember me and him was in Cheap Thrills. And I told Eddie, I said, I've ordered this movie. And he's like, what is Used Cars? And I was like, it's a Kurt Russell film from like 1980 or 81. And Russell, this was before he teamed up with John Carpenter. He was just really starting his solo film career. And Used Cars has him as a swarmy used car salesman who is competing against his, Jack Warden's. He plays 2 roles in this. His 2 brothers. And one brother is evil and wants to take over the car lot. And it's just, you know, I can see why he did the role. But, well, Russell's character is trying to sell these used cars. And, I mean, they're clunkers and shit. And he's trying to get rid of all these cars. And It's a fun role. I liked it. I liked it. And I like Jack Warden, so that's why I went ahead and got this film. Because I'm getting any 80s film that I liked. You know, I'm collecting the 80s films that I grew up on watching. And TBS used to show used cars a lot back in. Staying with cheap comedies, I think in April, I read a streaming service decided to do a remake of a 90s film. And this 90s film has become a cult classic. It's basically one of those films like, you're really going to make a remake of this? Even though the first one really is like a 90s cult classic. And I'm talking about Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead has Christina Applegate as a young girl who's looking forward to the summer. She's going to have fun with her friends and have a good time. And it's her last year of high school, I think. And she's really looking forward to having fun. And her mom goes on vacation and leaves her with a babysitter that dies. So she has to grow up quick. She has to take care of the family through the summer. And she does that. She does a very good job of it. And she learns some lessons along the way. And it's a really, I mean, Christina Applegate back then was like, man, look at, she was a fox. I mean, she's all married with children, and she was a beautiful woman, and she's had health issues the last decade, and hopefully, you know, everything will go well for her. I think she's doing voice roles now because she can't, I think she got MS, and she's, you know, impacted her acting, and it's kind of sad, but hopefully she's there. She's got her daughter, and I think her daughter's like taking care of her and her family, so it's good to see. And yeah, this is a nice one. They're remaking it, which Hollywood is clueless with. They make these remakes and they suck. They're basically doing a remake of it, and nobody liked it. Everybody like downvoted it.
Is that gasoline I smell?
And everybody's like hating on it. And it's like the Crow remake. Nobody wants these remakes. Nobody asked for these remakes. And good films, you know, studios realize, hey, we need that older generation to bring into the new generation. And once you lose a bunch, you know, when it's not there, just, you see. But let's move on to something better. Let's move on to some more comedies. And let's talk about an 80s comedy that's one of my favorites that Dolly Parton did. And she done a couple good films. Best Little in Texas. She did 9 to 5. She did Straight Talk. And one of the ones, Rhinestone. But the one I like is 9 to 5 that she did back in 80 or 81. And this has Dabney Coleman as a very bad boss. So they kidnap him. They kidnap him and hold him, and Lily Tomlin's in this one, and it's based off her song Working 9 to 5. And 9 to 5 is famous now, the song is, for the fact it was in a Deadpool trailer. I think Deadpool 2, and it was really a really good touch there. Really good touch on Deadpool. I mean, it was, and yeah, the comedy is really one. And this was cheap to find, and this is the sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical, bigot edition. Yeah. And you can find these cheap on Amazon. It wasn't, now, some 80s movies are crazy in price, and it's insane, but. So, I think I got this movie on DVD, but I wanted to hedge my bets. And I think I got it in a collection set, but I wanted to get this one because it's solo, and it's by itself, and it's really a good film. It was the first one, and it's the best one in that series. It's The Purge on Blu-ray. First Purge with Ethan Hawke, really good. Really good film. You can't really, you know, say enough of how good this film was. It takes place in an alternate U.S. where crime had run rampant, and they decided the only way to deal with crime and undesirable people that a lot of politicians felt were undesirable was to do the purge. And Ethan Hawke plays a rich man who has his family, you know, he tries to keep them safe, and the first one was just a creepy, very good horror film. And then he became more of an action film set. And I'm like, not that good. Now, the last Blu-ray I got, and this is the story here on this one. Okay. I actually got the title of this movie wrong for so long. Until I looked it up. And I had to, I kept typing, I come in peace.
I come in peace.
Because the character is an alien. The main villain is an alien that comes and is killing people, and all he says is, I come in peace. You know, It's creepy as hell, you know. You're like looking for this, and come to find out, the movie is called Dark Angel, and it's Dolph Lundgren as a detective who has to stop a alien who has come to Earth and is killing lots of people. And all he does, he says one line:
I come in peace.
I come in peace. It used to air on HBO a lot. And it's very creepy. Well, I had to get this. When I saw it, I think Eddie picked it up, and I was like, you know, I'm going to get Dark Angel. I'm going to go ahead and get that one. Now you're going to hear a very, very sad story. And one where I screwed up.
What?
Now, I've screwed up a lot. In comics and games and movies. I'll pick up the same comic. If I don't have it listed and I don't realize it, I'll pick up the same movie. And sometimes I've been lucky on games. I've only done it like once. But this screw up didn't cost me a lot. So anyhow, here's the story. Back in December when I was doing my Christmas pickups, I made an order at GameStop. And I always looked there and looked, and I saw that they had Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. And I knew the Yuffie mission was on Intergrade. So, me being slow and dim-witted at the time, well, maybe most of the time. Anyhow, me being an idiot,
Stupid! You're so stupid!
I didn't order it. I saw it there for 60 or 61 bucks, and I was like, maybe I should order this. And I put it in my cart so many times, and then I took it out, put it in my cart, take it out, and I should have ordered it then. So, I saw that, Rebirth was coming out. And I said, you know what, I'm playing the demo. I would like to play Intergrade and get the Yuffie mission. So I'll go back on GameStop and I'll order it. It's not there. It's spin out for... I don't think GameStop will ever get it back. Anyhow, I come to find out the game didn't have a big release in the US, and I should have picked it up then. So I go on Amazon. Amazon doesn't have it. Now I'm starting to think, okay, now maybe this game is getting hard to find. Or maybe it's a Trails to Azure situation. Let me go on eBay and see if I can find a cheap copy. I was like, I'll pay $60 or $70 for it. I can't find it on eBay. The copies range from $200 to $400 a piece. It's scrolling down through now. I was like, holy crap, I'm not paying that much for Intergrade for a physical US copy. So I go back to Amazon and I see that they have the UK version. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, well, let me do some research on this. Let me look. Can I play a UK version in the US? I was like, okay. Now I came to the other part. I said, I've got to see if the DLC is on the disc, if it's made into the disc. Because sometimes they'll put the DLC stuff on a disc, which I thought they did. Because I'm not seeing it not say there's a download code. And I was like, okay, this is a really cheap copy. I can get Intergrade. I could get it, and I could actually, get the copy of it. Well, come to find out, once I got it, the DLC was on a code. It's not on the disc. So now I'm in another spot, like, oh, son of a... So I'm thinking, okay, maybe they don't have it region locked. I mean, the games, you could play them. The DLC's region locked. So I'm like, that's kind of wild, the games aren't region locked, but the DLC is for some weird reason. So I can't play it unless I start a UK account. And somebody says you can start another account and base it in the UK and play it. And I was like, well, maybe one day I'll do that. Or maybe sometime, because the code don't expire until 2031. So maybe the code, by that point, maybe in a couple years, Sony will unregion lock the DLC, maybe, possibly. Be nice. And, but yeah, that's my screw up. And somebody said, well, why don't you just take the game, you take the game back. And I was like, no, that's my screw up. It's cheap enough as it is, and I don't feel like mailing it back to Amazon. But plus, it's a whole new version. I'm getting all the trophies, so I could play up on Remake on this and get myself ready for Rebirth, which I got. So I could get myself fine-tuned into Rebirth, because I got to finish the demo. So anyhow, that's my 8 pickups. 7 nice ones, an 8th with a screw up. So yeah, it happens. But Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed some of this latest Prime edition from pickups from Amazon Prime. And until next time, thanks for watching. Keep on playing. We'll go play some Intergrade UK version. Oh yeah.